Hi, my name is Father Jerome, and I want to make a video series which lays a rock solid, rational foundation for living a maximally meaningful, purpose driven life. That's what this series is about. And I'm making this video series primarily for someone who feels that their life lacks meaning and purpose and wants to live an integrated life and wants to have a rock solid foundation for that. Okay? So I'm making this series principally for like an atheist or an agnostic. But I do also think this series is helpful for anyone of any religion. I'm going to use all of my starting points, which will not be, it won't require an act of faith or subscription to any kind of particular religion. It's completely philosophical in nature from beginning to end, okay? And I just want to give a rock solid rational foundation. Now, I've watched a lot of videos, I've read a lot of books, I've read these arguments and watched these debates between like theists and atheists, and I always think, wow, I just think I could do a lot better job than that when it comes to the part of the theist. And so I want to present this. As far as I know, I'm not aware of a presentation like this, starting from square one, and which does not require of the audience like a lot of pre-education in some school of philosophy or theology. I'm making this video for someone who is capable of graduating from high school. Okay, I thought about how to say that. That's really what I want to say. Someone, you don't even have to have graduated from high school, but just be capable of it. If you are capable of graduating from high school and you're really open to the truth and you're willing to make changes in your life based on it, but you really just want ultimate happiness and you're open to the possibility that there's a life after this one and everything, and you're willing to live for that, then this video is for you. Now, in this video, we're going to start with what I think is the most convincing argument for God's existence ever, in my opinion. You be the judge. It's the one that convinces me. So if I lost my faith, I would still know that God exists. Really, I wouldn't be able to doubt. If I lost my faith, because I do have faith, obviously, but if I lost my faith, I personally wouldn't be able to doubt that God exists, or that there's a life after this one, or that God willed me into being personally for giving me the opportunity to share in a happiness that is his own, actually. Okay, we're going to argue to this step by step. And most people think, yeah, there's no way, you can't. If it were easy enough that anyone who was capable of graduating from high school could know those things, then people would know these things. But that's not necessarily true. A lot of things people come to know is by taking a very particular train of thought. And that's what I'm going to give to you. A very precise train of thought that starts from where you are, and which is, by way of analogy, like a long train spiraling up a high mountain. Once you get to the top of the mountain, you see things from that point of view, a bird's eye view, so to speak. You can get there by taking a train of thought. Now, if no one ever takes a particular train to a particular destination, they might never get to that destination, right? But it requires taking a particular train of thought. Now, in history, in science, for example, in physics, for example, this has happened many times. A lot of people, they naturally assumed the Earth is at the center of the solar system. People come along like Copernicus and Isaac Newton and others, and they change everyone's mind about what the nature of reality is, right? They present a train of thought. When you take that train of thought, when you board the train and ride it the whole way to the destination, it changes how you see things. I present to you that I can give you that kind of train of thought. If you're really open to the truth and you are capable of graduating from high school, basically. I'm presenting everything in this video for that. I have in mind like an agnostic or an atheist, or maybe a Christian or a Jew or a Muslim or anyone who may have faith, but they really do have doubts for several reasons, for several good reasons about the existence of God and the meaning and purpose of life. And they want a more solid foundation, okay? Now, I believe that faith is real and that faith is a gift, and there are some things that you can only know by faith. But these are not included as things that you can only know by faith. To know God, to know that God is a personal being, to know that God is all-powerful and all good, to know that God created the universe for the good of human persons as such, to know that God created you in particular. He individually willed you into existence, and that he has a personal mission for you to do in this life, and that you can come to know it. He's given you the means to know it. Or it is possible. And again, you can come to know what it is in general by following this line of thought that I'm going to give to you. You can know that those things are true. And then I also think that everyone has a personal vocation, and it is unique, and it's very much like a Christmas gift under a Christmas tree. You have to unwrap it. You have to unwrap it, but it's a gift from God to you. Now, I, of course, don't know what your personal vocation is, but I know where the tree is. I know how to lead you to find that gift so that you can unwrap it for yourself. So, if this appeals to you, whether you have a religion, whether you are of a particular faith or not, and especially if not, well, stay tuned, because this video series is for you.